Merry Christmas 2020. Wow, what a year. I mean, we started off knowing that the election was going to be long and hard, and then we got COVID, and then we had lockdowns, and then everybody, once the weather warmed up, everybody went nuts, and COVID spiked for a while, and it's just been one of those years. I mean, this has just been a tough year, no matter how we look at it. But it's Christmas now. I mean, that's the great thing about every year ends in Christmas. Begin with COVID, end in Christmas. Somebody on Facebook pointed out that exact same thing. Now, I'm not real big on watching everything on Facebook because, Facebook will drive you nuts after a certain amount of time. And social media is just way, way overblown, I think, by far. So, as believers in Jesus Christ, we gather together to worship. But we also gather together for the relationship aspect. And that's really what Christmas is all about. It's about relationships. I mean, that's what we do, right? We do relationships. And it's about other people. That's why we give gifts. We love to get, I love to get gifts for people that really, really like the gift. Of course, sometimes it takes a certain amount of time. Other times, I have no idea what to get. And then, because, I'm a guy, I do the gift cards because gift cards always work because then the person gets to get their own gift. Of course, that makes it look like that I have zero imagination. And for some people, I have zero imagination. But it's Christmas. And we all love Christmas. I used to not love it as much, but now I kind of like it now. I got back into Christmas. But here's the thing. Christmas really will eventually wear out if all it is about getting and giving. I mean, getting and giving is great, especially the getting part. I've always liked the getting. Giving has its own joy. I love giving people things, but I also really like getting because, there again, remember my first statement, I'm a guy. But, if that's all it is, it doesn't really do much after a while. Because then it's just like, we got to give and we have to get. And even though we like getting, we get tired of the giving. And then it's just the whole thing. People just get tired of it. And the reason why is because getting and giving, they're kind of finite. You can only do so much. You can only give so much. You can only get so much. I mean, after a while, where are you going to put your getting? And that's why we need to remember what the real reason for the season is. And that's for Jesus Christ. Obviously, I'm a pastor, dude, and so I kind of need to believe what I teach, but I really believe what I teach. And here's why. Because you cannot ever get tired of something that is infinite, of someone that is infinite. You can't reach the end of it. You never get to the very end where it's just like, is this all there is? Because we never can get to that place with God. And that's the whole point of remembering what Christmas is really about. It's about God. It's about the coming of Jesus Christ. God demonstrated how much he loved us so much, he sent his son. And guess what? Some of us are going to go out and we're going to be concerned that we could possibly get sick if we're around our family. Because, there's always that one person that never ever wears a mask. You never really know where they've been. Sometimes we don't even want to know where they've been. And we have that worry. It's like, well, we could get something that might kill us. It might not, but it could kill us. It can make us really sick. It can make life really ugly for a short period of time, or maybe for a longer period of time. And for some people that if they've got a compromised immune system, it could be the end of us, at least here on this earth. But that isn't what we think about. We think of the relationship. I mean, that's what matters to us. We want to get together because these are people that we love. And guess what? The reason we're that way is because the person that we are really supposed to be celebrating, because he's that way, because he chose to come to this earth, even though he knew he was going to die, and his Father sent him into this world to die. Now, granted, he came back, but he still had to die. Not because he necessarily wanted to die. I mean, there's a picture of him in Garden of Gethsemane asking his Father, he goes, if there's any other way, I'd really like to know. But there wasn't. And he said very clearly, not what I want, but what you want. And that's what really defines our relationship with God. It's not what we want, it's what God wants. It's not how we want to live, it's the way God wants us to live. It's not how we want to define ourselves, it's how God defines us. We didn't come to God. We didn't say, oh, God, here I am. Aren't you happy that I'm here? No, God chose us. We can't get to God without him choosing us. It wasn't our choice, it was his choice. And the Bible tells us that God demonstrated his love toward us while we were still sinners, while we still hated him, while we didn't even know he existed. The Bible tells us we were dead, spiritually dead. Spiritually dead people don't make a lot of choices. I understand sometimes spiritually, dead people can't vote, but we still haven't quite figured out how that works. But we can't do anything while we're dead spiritually. God had to reach down and he chose us. He didn't choose everybody. He only chose certain of us. And the way we know that we've been chosen is because we want to do what he wants, not what we want. Welcome to Christmas. Jesus Christ came into this world as a child, helpless. This is the person that made everything. He spoke what is into existence out of nothing. And he came into this world, and he came as a child. He had to depend on the very people that he created. He had to depend on them to get him through that old icky childhood thing. And he never made a mistake. He never sinned. He never did anything wrong, not morally wrong. You realize that his father, Joseph Wood, his earthly father, was a carpenter. He worked with wood. And Joseph taught his son how to be a carpenter. And the very wood that he worked with was actually the very wood on which he was going to be sacrificed. And he did so willingly. He came to this earth willingly. He died willingly for you and for I, and for me, you and for I. Never mind, it's been a long day. This is at the end of my day. But he died for us, willingly. And we can live because God loved us. See, we can't run to the end. We can't get to the end. It can't get old whenever it's about Jesus. It can get old when if it's just about getting and giving. Because they're finite. They're things. Jesus Christ is a person. The people that we love, they can get on our last nerve. They can bug the tar out of us. But we love them. God loved us so much that he sent his son. That's the reason why Christmas is here. So you just kind of look at everything that's happened this year. We're here. Obviously, we got through it. There's a lot of people that aren't here. There's an empty place at our table. There's an empty spot in our heart. But if they knew Jesus Christ, we're going to see them again, and we're going to spend forever, eternity with them. That's what we look forward to. May God bless your Christmas. And may you look forward to 2021, if for no other reason that it's not 2020. God bless. Merry Christmas. And have a great New Year.